Hello, welcome to Anime's another weekly roundup of Ami figure pre-orders. It's the 9th to the 14th of March 2026. Not too many figures this week. There's a couple of re-releases of figures, so I'll just quickly go over the re-releases as well. But not too many new figures as well either this week, so it'll be a pretty short video at the end of the day. So comment, like, and subscribe for future weekly catch-ups of scale figures coming out. Yeah, the re-release though is Chun-Li re-release. So if you missed out on that from Max Factory, she was 33,000 yen. I've got my one actually behind me in my display cabinet. Very nice figure. I think definitely worth getting a hold of if you missed out on the first run of her. So definitely will help with the aftermarket prices as well, because I think she's quite expensive in the aftermarket. But yeah, I think that was the only real re-release that I'm aware of that I remember covering this week. Yeah, Chun-Li, and then there's a couple of image updates from figures that I've cut in the past week or so that I've covered anyways, so I didn't include those obviously because you can't really tell what the image updates on those are. Unfortunately, they don't really stipulate what the image update is. So yeah, we'll just get straight into the figures that are up for pre-order this week that are new. So something wrong with this one. Why did this not load? Come on. Gridman Universe, Akane Shinjo, Chinese dress version, 1/7 by Apex, 18,810 yen, January 2027. So this figure's a bit weird, I think, personally, because she's like, it's a very simple figure at the end of the day when you think about. She's just obviously in a China dress, sitting on a chair. The flooring and the chairs are quite nice, like the base, but the outfit is very simple designed, and there's not really any skin definition either. It's all the same sort of tone from the legs to the arms and the face, so there's not any definition there. The jewelry on the ankles are quite nice touch as well. That's quite difficult to do as what is usually. So yeah, it's a bit interesting. There's not really much hair shading. It's pinks with some white highlights. It's a very bright figure, and obviously very dark and rustic in the chair and the base. So for kind of 18,000 yen, I was expecting a bit more in terms of the paintwork, maybe a bit more range from the shadows to the highlights. And there's a sort of fake scarf you have to be a bit wary of as well. You kind of have to wash those a fair bit just to try and reduce the likelihood of paint transfer or rubbing from the actual scarf onto the figure and the chair, because that chair's gonna the scarf will pick up the paint from the chair quite easily as well with how dark it is. So that's the only thing with these sorts of fake ones. I've not got any figures, luckily, that have those yet, but I have heard you do have to wash those a fair bit. And then we got Danganronpa 2. This one is a re-release, I'm pretty sure. Coming out in August. Is it released? I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I covered this figure before, actually. Good Smile Despair Chiaki, 1/8 by Fat Company, 19,000 yen. It's a very nice figure. This one's definitely, considering this is only slightly more than the Gridman Universe one. This one, I like the base, the figure. There's a lot more range in the colour and the depth. Sculpting looks better as well overall, I would say, because the jacket, you can see the crease in the jacket. Hair shading looks a lot better. Face is much better as well. Everything just looks a lot better, I think, for your money, and is obviously into very is a part of a game obviously that a lot of people have played Danganronpa. I've not personally played it, but it's got a very cult following. A lot of people like it, so yeah, I can definitely see the appeal to the people wanting to get this figure. And it's just gonna have to be wary about whether these acrylic or these see-through support rods are gonna bend over time. Obviously, this one that goes into the back under the jacket, so that's quite an obvious support point in there. Hopefully it's thick enough and will not sag over time, but it'll be more temperature fluctuations in your room that will affect that. Then we got Umamusume Pretty Derby Tamamo Cross, 1/7, 23,900 yen, a bit on the pricier side, January 2027. Definitely a bit more on the pricier side for how simple this figure is compared to other Umamusume figures. Like the outfit is, she's like in obviously jeans and trainers, so very compared to the other ones where how elegant they are, you know, with their dress and outfits, the jewelry, the color variations. This is just blue, red, and white, of kind of. I'm not sure if this character is, or the horse that it's based off is an American horse. I'm not very familiar with Uma Musume at all, but I would expect is in that kind of colorway, or the American color, three tricolors that we're aware of. So yeah, very much like that. It's very clean for the color paint, but considering it's 24,000 yen nearly, I don't think it's worth getting this figure. The other ones are nicer, and a lot of the other Uma Musume figures are cheaper as well. So I probably would give this one a miss personally. Then we've got Azure Lane Bismarck Unpacked Surprise Version 1/7 by Anigame, 8,900 yen. This is very cheap. It is a very simple figure at the end of the day. It's just her in, well, basically underwear. But yeah, very sexy looking figure. A lot of sculpting is put into the outfit, of how it cinches obviously around the leg, like the tights plump into the skin very nicely. The back sculpting I think looks quite nice as well, and chest sculpting looks very nice. Yeah, and the hair is quite very nicely done, and there's a good amount of shading in the blonde as well, I would say, with this figure. But I think it's the price really at the end of the day for this level of figure, even though it is white, some skin tones, and some blonde hair shading, and a bit of blush around in the face as well. And the sculpting looks really good. I think for the price, 9,000 yen, it's a very nicely sculpted figure, and obviously it is a very sexy looking figure as well. So it is a good Azure Lane figure, and good if you're on a budget. Then we got Kana Arima Sweet Paradise 1/6 by Belfine, 23,370 yen. I'm pretty sure I've covered this before, considering she's coming out in July. So this might be a re-release or re-upload of the pre-order, not a re-release. The Chun-Li is a full re-release, since she was obviously came out last year. But yeah, this is quite a nice looking figure, and I think overall, when I last covered her, she is quite good. I like the reds, the very vibrant red in this. As long as the final product, the reds are like this, I would say if you get her in person, then she's a very nice made figure outfit. I'm not familiar with the IP. It's Oshinoko. That makes sense actually for the color aspect of this figure. So yeah, very nice figure. I think probably worth getting a hold of. Although I think the hype for Oshinoko is kind of fallen off a bit. Then I did include her. So Street Fighter Chun-Li 1/6 by Max Factory, 33,000 yen. Definitely worth getting hold of. I'd say auto buy for anyone who missed out on her. So yeah, auto buy easily. Sculpting, paint job, everything looks immaculate, like top notch. No problems with this figure. Great figure, definitely worth getting hold of. Yeah, auto buy I would say for anyone who's a Street Fighter fan. Then we got a freeing figure, obviously. B-Style Azure Lane Napoli Dreamy Night by Freeing, 39,600 yen, September 2026. This one, obviously, the pose is very unique for Freeing. I do like the suit as well, even though she is a bunny suit. It's definitely much more lingerie-esque than an actual bunny suit, so it's definitely different to a bunny suit figure. So I can definitely see this one being quite popular. The hair as well is obviously very nice. She's going to take up a lot of space on your shelf, and posing her is going to be a bit awkward because you can't have her sort of side on, you know, going left to right on your shelf. You're going to have her more front to back, so you're seeing her face kind of like this angle, so you can have the chest area and whatnot. So I do like the design, I like the color, I do like the figure overall. Whether I'll get this, I probably won't. I'll probably wait to see if this bins, because a lot of the freeing Azure Lane ones have gone down in value, unless they're cast off, obviously. So you could probably nab this for a pretty good price after release, with it being freeing. So yeah, it is a very nice figure, and the uniqueness might make it hold its value a bit more compared to the other freeing bunny style B-style figures. And then we've got Togaini no Shiki 1/7 by QSQ, including this figure and the next one for any of our female collectors out there, as they might want to get, you know, male characters are pretty rare to get in this hobby, so I thought it'd be worth at least covering these. So yeah, 21,780 yen, coming out in February next year, 2027. Quite a nice male character, very simple design, very little shade work, but considering he's in black attire, that makes sense. Black hair is nicely shaded, very pale skin though, I would say, and his compadre that we'll get to in a bit. But yeah, I do quite like the design. Yeah, it's just maybe not 22,000 yen in my opinion. I'd like there to be a bit more for 22,000 yen for a 1/7 scale figure. But yeah, not bad overall, especially if you're, as I said, a female collector. And then if you want Chai Akira as well, for the same price, this one's a bit better, a bit more skin tone, not as cold for the skin tone, I'd say, a bit more warm. Hair shading is definitely good, quite good as well, with the greenish to white hues going on. In a t-shirt as well, obviously definitely gives off that certain vibes. So yeah, quite nice. Not a lot of muscle definition, definitely a bit more on the scrawnier side for a male character or male anatomy. So yeah, fine personally. And this one's November 2026. Are these both in November? Yeah. Oh, this one's earlier. This was 3 months earlier, 4 months earlier, sorry. That's weird. I would expect, considering they're both from the same IP. Okay, I would presume this will probably get delayed to February, most likely. We'll have to see if you are pre-ordering this. Then we got Wandering Witch, The Journeys of Elaine Citrus on 6th by Fuyu for 23,980 yen, November 2026. Very cute figure. Probably, I've not seen Wandering Witch. I've heard good things about it, so I can definitely see why we're getting a fair few figures of her, of Elena. She's cute. I do like the jacket as well. She's just not in a standard outfit. Her witch's cloak, I guess it would be. Nicely sculpted, hair shading looks good. And being 1/6 is a bit of a bonus as well. So overall, not too bad. Having no base is maybe a bit off-putting, because she's just standing on herself with a bit of fruit in her hand, so there's not a lot of extra scenery. The base doesn't put her in a certain scene or environment that you probably would want with a character like this, where compared to like Furine core scales, they can just be on a black disc. It's obviously because they're large core scales, you'd want to get them. And they're very sexy figures, whereas this is you'd want a bit more story and a bit more environmentals, just to place her into a certain scene, I would say. So overall, not too bad, but I think the lack of a base is a bit of a negative. And then we've got Brown Dust 2, Apostle Olivia, 1/6 by VK End, 23,260 yen, December 2026. Brown Dust 2 got removed from Steam, so not for sale on Steam, unfortunately. And I don't think I can get it on my phone either. But this is one of those very, gacha games where they do very sexy design figures. So this is definitely a bit more on the subdued end from what I've seen, at least online. But it's a very tight dress, obviously, where you can see through to the skin underneath. The arm plating and armor that she's got going on is very nicely done. It's a unique design. I do like it quite a bit. I don't know if that tattoo is actually part of the outfit or actually on her stomach. I think really for 24,000 yen, the sword is a bit plain. It's intricately designed, kind of, but considering it's all silver, it's all just very cold. You got the warm golds, the hair, the body design looks quite good. Hair is fine, I think. Very minimal shading. The structure, at least with how many individual strands they've got going on, is quite nice. But overall, not the nicest, not the most sex appeal figures I would have expected from Brown Dust. But this one's, as I said, it's a bit more of a subdued design. I think a bit more restrained. And then we go into the adult section. These won't be linked below, but all the other figures we looked at will be linked below in the description. And yeah, so we've got Binding Creator's Opinion, Obsidian, quarter scale by Binding, 39,600 yen, October 2026. This one is a full cast-off figure, so I do like this, very thin suit design that we've got going on. Sorry if the light's changing quite a bit for the exposure. I think the camera's auto-correcting a fair bit, unfortunately. But yeah, I do like the hair pose, like the suit. 3/4 length tights I'm quite a fan of as well. So yeah, I do like it. It's definitely more like a swimsuit than an actual bunny suit on this figure. And I could tell straight away from how these hip straps go and whatnot that this was going to be a fully removable suit. So we shall get to a photo where you can, where she's just fully stark nude. Here we go. So yeah, with very nice torso definitions and sculpt work going on. Not extremely large in the chest area, which I think I can appreciate as well. I think it's ample for how tall the character is. So she's definitely on the taller side. But yeah, very nice figure. And I think she has at least from what I've seen, there's a white colour version where she's very similar. Or not obsidian, it's but yeah, different, slightly different pose and whatnot in that design. So yeah, I would like to see that one personally. But yeah, probably worth getting hold of. I do like the binding figures, and it's an OC design. So who designed this one? Obsidian illustration by Love Cacao, jet black colorway. Doesn't tell me, unfortunately, who is the original artist, but yeah, quite a nice looking figure. And then we've got this Homote no Pose, illustrated by Kamugi 1/6 by Pure, 26,230 yen, May 2027 release. This one's obviously an extremely explicit figure, with a very petite character, with toys in certain holes. So not something I would get personally, but I can definitely see some people would like this one with how unrestrained this figure is. At least she's not extremely on the lolly side, I don't think. But yeah, if she was like a lot cheaper, I probably would get her just to see what she's like in person. You obviously get a couple of accessories to have with her. But yeah, not something I would get personally, but I thought I'd bring up, since it's obviously an explicit figure that somebody out there will probably want to get hold of potentially. And although the Pure figures have generally gone on discount after release, so you could probably just hold off, just bookmark it, and wait till she's released next year, and then wait a few months, and you'll probably be able to get her for a fair bit cheaper. Save yourself a bit of money in the long run as well. And that does it for this week of Ami Figure Rulers. A bit of a short one. Did a bit more explaining of the figures to pad out the time, obviously. But yeah, I should catch you in the next video. And thank you very much. Catch you in the next one. Bye.